You know that feeling when you finally decide to upgrade your workstation, only to end up with a cheap box that sputters under a single game or takes forever to render a simple 3D model? I've been there more than once, and the regret sticks around longer than the money you saved. That's why today I'm looking at a mini PC that's trying to be the opposite of a disappointment, the ASUS NUC 14 Pro Plus AI. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. First off, the hesitation most of us feel isn't about the price tag so much as the fear of buying another tiny machine that can't keep up with the workloads we actually throw at it. Mini PCs have a reputation for being great for media streaming or light office tasks, but when you start demanding AI inference, 3D rendering, or even decent 1080p gaming, the cheap ones fall flat. The NUC 14 pushes back against that stereotype by packing an Intel Core Ultra 7 155H, 32GB of DDR5 memory, and a 1TB PCIe SSD into a chassis that's about the size of a hardcover book. It's not just the raw numbers that matter, it's how those numbers translate into everyday use. Let's talk about the real-world setup. Out of the box you have a power brick, a small HDMI cable, and a couple of Thunderbolt 4 adapters in the box. I hooked it up to a 27-inch 144Hz monitor via HDMI for the primary display, then used a Thunderbolt 4 dock to attach a 4K TV, a USB-C external SSD, and a mechanical keyboard. The whole process took less than 10 minutes, and the system booted into Windows 11 Pro without any driver hunting. That quick, plug-and-play experience is a huge win for anyone who isn't a hardware guru. Now, the AI claim isn't just marketing fluff. The Core Ultra processor integrates a dedicated AI accelerator, which shows up in real life when you run inference on models like Stable Diffusion or run facial recognition in a security app. I tested a small batch of image generation using a lightweight model, and the NUC crunched the numbers in under a minute, something a typical budget mini PC would struggle with or outright refuse to run. For developers who need a local test environment for AI, the onboard acceleration can shave hours off your iteration time. When it comes to 3D rendering, the Intel Arc graphics core is the workhorse. It isn't a top-tier RTX card, but it handles 1080p viewport playback in Blender smoothly, and even manages 4K video exports at decent speeds thanks to its hardware-accelerated encoding. The real win here is the superior cooling that ASUS built into the aluminum alloy chassis. Under continuous rendering for an hour, the CPU stayed in the low 90°C range, and the fans were barely audible. That's a far cry from the hotboxing you see in many other tiny desktops, and it means you can leave the machine on for long sessions without fearing thermal throttling. Storage flexibility is another practical advantage. The 1TB PCIe SSD gives you lightning-fast load times right away, but the board also exposes an additional M.2 slot for expansion. If you ever need more space for large project files, you can add a second SSD without opening the whole case, a rare convenience in a unit this small. Coupled with the 32GB of DDR5, multitasking feels fluid. I could have a web browser with dozens of tabs, a virtual machine, and a video editing timeline open simultaneously without noticeable slowdowns. Connectivity is where the NUC really shines for a compact device. 2 Thunderbolt 4 ports let you daisy-chain a 4K monitor and an external GPU enclosure if you ever outgrow the built-in Arc graphics. Wi-Fi 6E provides a solid wireless backbone for large file transfers, and the presence of a gigabit Ethernet jack means you can plug into a wired network for stable latency, crucial for cloud-based rendering farms or remote work. All that without the clutter of a full-size tower. So who should actually buy this thing? If you're a freelance motion graphics artist, a software developer dabbling in AI, or a small office manager who wants a sleek machine that can handle both productivity and occasional gaming, the NUC 14 fits the bill. Its compact footprint makes it perfect for desks that are already crowded, and the built-in AI accelerator adds genuine value for workloads that leverage it. It also makes a compelling secondary workstation for people who already have a main desktop but need a portable, powerful node for travel or client sites. On the flip side, If your primary goal is high-end 4K gaming at ultra settings, you'll hit the ceiling fairly quickly. The Arc GPU is competent for titles like Fortnite or Valorant at 1080p high refresh, but it won't keep up with the latest AAA releases at 1440p or higher. Likewise, if you're looking for a machine you can continuously upgrade with new GPUs or massive amounts of RAM, the NUC's form factor limits you. The RAM is soldered, and while you can add a second SSD, you can't swap out the CPU or GPU. For those users, a larger desktop or a